I'm going to talk about my experiences. And I don't know if I'm going to get emotional or not because this is stuff that I've healed from. And I mean, sometimes I do want to cry about it if I put myself there, but this is generally stuff that I healed from, that I've addressed, that I've. So talking about this stuff is like, it's uncomfortable. It's like, I don't live there anymore. I don't want to go back there. Thank God I don't live there anymore. I don't ever want to go back there. But I get to it. Okay, the third day that I was homeless in Hollywood, I got raped because I didn't want to sleep out, and I thought that sleeping in an abandoned apartment would be smarter, or whatever the fuck that means. And so when I was in there were a few other guys there that, one of them raped me, the person that raped me, okay? I tried to escape. I tried to grab my jacket and just leave. I didn't want to be there, and he slapped me and ripped my jacket off. And okay, I don't want to go into those details, but the whole time that I was being raped and I was crying about it, the only thing that the other guys ever said was that she's being too loud. Could you make her shut up? Yeah, that's what they said. So I was like, okay, that's it. I can't be outside. I can't be in an abandoned apartment. And all the men out here only want sex from me. There is nowhere safe that I can go. I have no family. I mean, I have family, but I don't have family. Blood exists, but blood exists where? You know what I mean? But anyway, when that happened, I decided that wasn't going to happen anymore. And I started sleeping with people for places to stay so that I wasn't out here and so I wasn't exposed to this stuff. It was the most degrading and horrible feeling of my life, and I hated myself. And then I met John. John was nice. John was smooth. John was Mr. Suavecito, okay? And I was like, okay, so this guy knows some things. I'm not, I didn't know that much about the streets of Hollywood. Being out here and living here is one thing, but being out here, homeless out here, is a whole other ball game. So when I was with John, it was an abusive relationship where he wanted to control me and make money off me. A lot of these men out here love to hustle their women off to make cash. Now, the stuff that I'm talking about is not something that I'm comfortable with. It's not something that I'm proud of, and it's definitely not something that I like sharing with everybody in the world, only my close friends. And there's a reason why they're overprotective of me. Second rape was, I believe it's the second. There's been a lot, okay? Let me go through the category of Arian's mind. The second one happened when I was with John, okay? And it was when, I got hooked on drugs, okay? Being out in the streets and going through rape and abuse. I got hooked on drugs because dumb, poor life decisions of my 20s. But this was back in 2013, 2014. But when I got hooked on the drugs, I was around people that didn't make good decisions either. So, of course, getting raped when you're on drugs it happens. So one of these guys decided, oh, I smoked my drugs with you, so now you owe me. And I'm like, no, the fuck I don't owe you anything. And then I got trapped. Oh, let me lock and close the door where she can't leave. And let me force her down. And let me take it from her. And that was a white guy. First time, black guy. Second time, white guy. The only white guy. After that, all black guys. And the third time that I got raped was when this was when I was with Rob. See, I've been raped before out here, before I ever moved out here, I've been raped before. So, but I'm telling you, the reason for my distrust in this city, those kind of people are like, oh my God, Arian, why have you been raped? Because Miss Innocent Hearted always views the best in people, and people like to take advantage of it until the lesson is learned. Keeping it real. But John tried to kill me at one point while he was making money off of me, and while he was running off and drinking and playing, gambling and shit. And you'd be like, wait, what? John was a pimp? Catch up. I was with him for 1.5 years, and all I know is he could write a book. He could write a book and all these women would be suckers. But he tried to kill me when I wanted out of the relationship. When I was fighting him the whole way. But when I finally was like, you know what, I'm brave enough to actually fight back, because he beat me all the time. He would kick me in my shin where I have a permanent dent right here, and it hurts sometimes. That's why I have to keep my weight down, because when I was heavier, that shit would hurt. But and he also broke my ribs. One of my ribs, this one is normal, and then the other one is inward. It's got a curve at the bottom inward, because he broke my ribs. This was during the incident of me trying to fight for my life so that I can get the fuck out. And he tried to kill me. He put his hands around my throat like this, and squeezed and squeezed and squeezed until my body went limp, everything went black, and my mind already decided, this is it, I'm gonna die. And then he let me go. And then he said, see, it would be that easy to kill you. Then I met Vaughn. You guys know Vaughn. Vaughn DZ, Green Power Ranger on the Hollywood Boulevard. Vaughn has to be one of the best people that I've met. He's an asshole, but aren't we all? But he protected me for a few weeks when I was out on the street after I broke up with John and I survived my almost death. And he introduced me to Rob. Rob had he was just going through a divorce because his ex-wife beat on him. So my past trauma, his past trauma, karmic relationship. It's the ultimate recipe for it, right? Two traumatized people together, Everybody's like, oh, you seem so happy. Everything seems happy on the outside. That's why people always think that I'm going to take him back. It's you have no idea what the fuck he put me through, or vice versa. It's just, no, that was a lot of toxic stuff that needed to be dealt with. And because of him, though, I got off drugs. I've been 5 years off of that stuff. So, yay, woo. Marijuana all day, though. But, and I didn't feel like I had to survive anymore. So I got a little too comfortable in the relationship, even though the relationship wasn't going anywhere and it wasn't progressing or anything. I was just so tired of surviving, so tired of fighting for my life, that I was just like, you know what? If I can sit back for a minute and just deal with my personal shit, I'm gonna do that. And so for the whole time that I was with my ex, I was dealing with my personal shit that I had to heal from, because I didn't want it leaking into my relationship with him, and I sure the fuck didn't want it leaking into anything else. So I had to deal with that stuff, and I did, and it was good. And my relationship in that aspect was good. It was good, but my ex used to like to use my trauma to control me. Oh, well, you can't go here because you're going to do this, because this is going to happen and this is going to happen. He still tries that stuff, but for me, it's like, I don't play those games. I don't. You had me as a sucker for 4 years. You don't have me as a sucker anymore. But I was able to deal with those things, so I'm thankful. People wonder why I'm thankful for my traumas. I am very thankful, you know. I'm very thankful. People have talked smack about me, about my past and what I've done and the people I've been involved with and yada, yada, yada. And the people you are involved with, oh, my people are good. Oh, yeah, so if you have, your car needs to be pushed, is your friend going to come out here and push it with you? No, they're going to tell you to call AAA. It's going to cost what? How much money? You know? So, anyway, talking about this stuff, like, I'm sure you can tell that I have like some kind of detachment from it when I'm talking about it, because it's like, for me, it's like, that's my past. That's not who I am now. That's not defining who I am now. That's not at all where I live mentally, emotionally, spiritually, or physically anymore. So it's different, you know. I find solutions now where I used to just complain about the problem. I'm not sitting around playing victim to my circumstances, and I'm not sitting around asking people for money and help and, you know, milking my pain the way that I feel like I was in the past. Because, you know, when I was doing the YouTube for Mark and I was making $1,500 a week from doing that stuff, you know, when I was making $1,500 every couple weeks from GoFundMe, which I was so thankful for, most of that money didn't even go to me. Like, if I did not spend that money, it was in my ex's pocket. And all for weed. People don't even know this. I would give up weed. Yes, the fuck I would. Yes, I would. Yes, I would. Anything that's causing any toxicity to my spiritual being, or if it's surrounded, like, if it was such a big problem in my life, I would. But because for me it's not like, I don't need it 24/7. You know, I can be without it. You know, I can go days, weeks without it. I'm okay without it. You know, and just right now I'm surrounded by somebody that has to have it 24/7, and if he doesn't have it, the whole world is gonna have it. Yeah, that's the kind of energy I'm around right now, and that's why I'm trying to get into this shelter. If I don't, then I'm just going to withdraw from him completely. Sure, I'll be out here vulnerable or whatever by myself, but it's better than being around toxic energy that, that I know it's not intentional. He's got his own personal issues that have nothing to do with me. But hanging around your ex, it's like, people are like, oh, how does it look? I'm like, how does it look? How do you think I feel? Because people think that I want to backtrack. I don't want to backtrack. I don't. But I also don't want to get raped out here. Like, people don't understand. If you've never been in my shoes, if you've never experienced the pain that I experienced, or anything like that, like, you cannot understand. You can't. No. When you have somebody putting their body weight on you and forcing your pants down, when you have somebody selling you like you're a piece of meat for cash flow, and beating you if you didn't want to be sold. When you go through those things, it teaches you so much discipline. It's like, okay, you know what? I have trust issues with men so much that when the guy that I like starts talking to me, I'm scared because I'm like, is he out to hurt me? And I know that he's not, but, it's like in my mind, I'm like scared that I'm going to get hurt. And it's something that I have to deal with every day, and I have to push down and still choose to be brave and choose to love, even past all that fear, doubt, and so on and so forth. Pushing past traumas is hard to do. It's so hard to do. And anybody who pushes past it, it's commendable. Most people lose their minds out here. Some of the women that I know that have been raped out here, they stay on drugs. They stay in abusive relationships because in that abusive relationship, at least they're not being raped. This is, this is some truth out here. Oh my God. But it's so true. Like, a lot of these women out here, and the women that are out here, that most of them are on drugs, they didn't get into drugs themselves. The women that are out here that are on drugs, a guy did that to them and then got them stuck out here looking stupid and addicted to drugs. Because meth makes women horny. So when a guy gives a woman meth, she wants to fuck. For them, it's just 1 + 1 = division. Now, if people want to judge me based off of my trauma and my pain and somehow be like, oh, well, you were this, you did this, you did how do I know you're not going to do that shit again? First off, that was traumatic for me. So, no, I'm not going to do that again. Second off, it's not really my bag. I've never done drugs in my whole life until I came out to Hollywood. That's just true. I didn't even like drinking alcohol that often. I'll drink like maybe once or twice in a whole fucking year. I was a mom. I was innocent-minded. I wasn't thinking about this stuff. When I came out here, I had no idea what I was getting myself into. And I honestly think that's one of the reasons why my family cut me out, was because they knew what I would go through and they just didn't want to watch it. And I feel like, there were times that I felt regret, where I felt like, I wanted to be angry. There were times that I'd get angry and I'd push people away, and I just didn't trust anybody. My spiritual growth didn't come overnight, and it hasn't been something that I just started working on. This has been a lifelong journey. God's been with me my whole damn life. Like, You know, when I was going through abuse from my mom, and she would lock me in my room for days at a time because she just didn't want to deal with me, because that's what narcissistic parents do. In the dynamic, you have a golden child, the one who's treated like they're the shit and everybody else is a piece of shit. And then you have the scapegoat, the person to blame when the parenting dynamic goes wrong somehow. You know, like, for example, when I went into foster care, my mom told me that it was my fault. That's just an example of narcissistic abuse. Okay, but my mom, when she would lock me in my room and stuff and leave me alone, I would be reading. I found joy in books. I would escape, you know, and I would create stuff out of nothing, and I would feel God with me at those times. And it's not because I was exposed to God. It's because God exposed himself to me. My mom is Wiccan. She's into witchcraft and things like that. And my brother is a Satanist. Well, was during that time. Now, I don't know what the fuck he is. You try on different hats, find your own flow, I guess. I don't know. But, no, like, I've known God my whole life, so my spiritual journey has been like this my whole life. God doesn't give his battles to weak people. If you've had a cushiony life and everything's been good, then you are highly favored and God blessed you, and I am so happy for you that you have loving parents, that you've been blessed with such a great, wonderful dynamic. I'm not hating at all. I am happy for you. You know, that is a gift, a blessing, you know. But for somebody like me who's been through abuse, foster care, rape, and human trafficking, things like that, like people who've been through those things, like we're expected to pick ourselves up and somehow meet the people who've been privileged and who've had the cushiony lifestyle and had support, and the only things that they have to deal with is if they go to the club or hang out with the wrong people every now and then. You know, their trauma is like minimum, okay? I'm not trying to downgrade your trauma, okay? I know rich people lose their family members all the time, and it's sad, and it's traumatic, and it doesn't mean that it's worth more or less or whatever. You know, I'm not trying to downplay people's traumas. I'm trying to let them know that it's not the same. Similar is not the same. So somebody who has this wonderful upbringing and who has all this wonderful support system and love and everything is they expect us to meet them at the same level after going through this trauma in this, you know, hell. You know, you expect me to be on your level like that? No. I'm happy for you. I'm glad you're here. You know, that is a blessing. I'm glad you're here. But me, I'm here, but because I brought me here. Because I'm me. Because I'm a fucking gangster. I've been through this, and this, and this. And it could have turned me hard. It could have turned me cold. It could have turned me into anything. But here it is that I'm a spiritual gangster. I'm all like, light, love, peace, harmony. Let's get along. What? You know? Because that's what it is, you know. It's my trauma and that pain that brought me to a place of healing. And then in that healing, I got to realize that I'm enough. I'm great. I'm a wonderful person. These people, they don't know me. I know me. I am the shit. What are you talking about? What? So that's why I'm thankful for my struggles. And that's why, like, that's why I have this detachment, because it's like, you know, I'm not there anymore. You know, like, I get it. Old Arian, like, sometimes I talk to the old me. I'll be like, Arian, I know the old you wants to come out. You want to give these people a piece of your mind. And, you know, the old me, yeah. The old me, when that trauma first started, I wasn't nice. I was mean. and I wasn't having it, and everybody can get out of my face and fuck you and your opinion, and I'm just gonna do me. And yeah, like, I pushed everybody away when that shit went on. But no, I don't know. People, you think that you know somebody just because of how they look or how they speak or something. No. Before all of this, I was going to Everest College Phoenix to become an MA. I was getting my I was getting straight A's. So true, by the way, because I really wanted to become a nurse like my grandmother. And I was, I had my kids. I had custody of them. I was doing really, really good. And my mom was threatening to kick me and my kids out on the street all the time, and it just got to a point where I had to put my kids with their dad so I don't have to fucking be out on the street with my kids. And then she wanted to tell me, like, that I'm the bad guy because I took she was really just trying to get my kids from me and kick me out. Yeah, I was going through that. And I was like, no, they're going to go to their dad if they go to anybody. The fuck? They have a completely able dad. The fuck? No, sorry, Mom. You don't get to abuse my children like you abused me. It's not happening. But, like, that's what I had going on. I had kids. I was going to school. I was a single mom. I was doing my thug thizzle before I came out here and had to experience those things. So for me, that was extremely traumatizing. I grew up in foster care, but that's honestly not the most traumatizing thing that ever happened to me. And I'm so independent naturally and such a free spirit that, that stuff didn't hurt me the way that it hurt my mom. And I feel bad for her because it's like, she's got her own issues too. Everybody's got their own issues. The only difference is I know mine. And I'm not allowing them to affect me or my decision making. And I'm changing my life because I control my destiny. I'm getting into that shelter. I'm getting a job. I'm getting stable ASAP. And I'm not backtracking. And I'm not going to put myself into positions where I'm vulnerable to get hurt. So I guess that's all I can say. I don't know. But people can assume the worst about me. They can assume that I'm a whore, that I'm not faithful, or whatever. I don't really fucking care. You don't want me, then bye. That's how I fucking feel about anybody. It's nothing personal to you. It's like, I want you, but you don't think I want you. You gotta love you, Same as me. I gotta love me at the end of the day. I'm not gonna force anybody's hand into anything. But I do know this love is worth it. Ooh, yeah. This love is worth it. Da 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 da. Yeah. Why is your love worth it, Ariana? Because somebody who's been through this stuff is gonna love you. Like, hello, like, you are a sunshine in my life on a dark, cloudy day. Fuck yeah, I'm gonna love you. The fuck? I guess people who always have sunshine can't really appreciate the sunshine when they're soaking in it. But me, I'll soak it up.